God bless you. Well, today we are what we eat, we are what we consume, we are what we participate and partake in, we are what we support in this world. And I see far too many complaining about all sorts of different ailments, conditions, and problems. Look at your diet. Look at what you do and don't consume, and have a consideration of it. Do you know your vitamin intake? Do you know your protein and your carbohydrate intake? Do you know who made the pyramid system? Because that was what it was called, the pyramid system for your diet. Have you looked into it? Have a consideration on that. You see, God made all things to work in harmony. And all the herb of the earth shall be meat for you. And then when it was after Noah leaving the ark, then the animals shall also be meat for you. Knowing this, knowing these things, you have to know what's in what you eat. Because in today's day and age, the consumer is ever so tempted by the bright colours. They're ever so tempted by the advert, the advertisement. They're ever so tempted by the cheap price, because it's cheap. They're ever so tempted by the things that just they can't get enough of, and they can't explain why. You have to understand the pharmakeia, the sorcery hidden behind it. Why something is so tempting. Why people struggle so much with sugar. Why people just can't stop taking just another bite. The body that has no minerals and nutrients in it is never satisfied. So people overconsume, and we end up with a society of obesity. We need to take care of ourselves. We need an active lifestyle, not an inactive lifestyle. People are taught to live in their homes, work, and go home and put the big screen on and their feet up. But God made man to cultivate the earth. God made man to live upon it, have dominion over the animals. But instead, he works for some company or business, and at the end of the day he puts his feet up in front of a big screen to tell him what he wants and what he likes. And then he goes, no, I'm my own man, I have my own ideas, my own interests. And then he chooses if he's blue or red, on which side he prefers, because the screen tells him such. When you turn off the big screen and you focus on your body, you can now start wondering what this screen is you're looking at the moment. Well, it's a quick breakdown of various vitamins and various minerals, and what they work for in different parts of your body. As the screen says, take a pause, have a look, make sure you're studying these. Because you want to keep your system strong. You want to detox regularly. You want to repair your body from the harm the world does to it. You want to understand how to flush your body from toxins. So now, this first page shows you your vitamins and your minerals and what they all do. So pause, read them, and learn these things. You can even study this and research for yourself. If you struggle with being able to get a good night's sleep, a couple of herbs and a nice herbal tea that will help. And what they do, as it shows on this screen, the herbs shall be meat for you. Everything works according to its kind. Understand them. All the things for the body. Iron-rich foods, iron in the blood, iron here in this list. I hope you can say, I eat that. See, these are not what we see on the shelves in the shops. We see pre-packaged, pre-made something. And when you go to it, the packet of crisps, the chips, the tinned, the microwavable pre-made. It's all demineralized, denutriated. It is basically worthless. A calorie is not a calorie. You have to understand, if you were to focus the amount of calories you have on the most worthless of foods versus the same amount of calories on things such as this list in front of you, which body do you think would look healthier? Have a think about that. Your sources for magnesium. These pages are for you to pause and to read and to consider. These are God's creation. Avocados, personal favorite of mine. Healthy fats. Bananas are for the soldier, because they're a slow release sugar and they allow you to march for longer. Coriander, good for binding to heavy metals in your bloodstream. Think on these things. Oregano, good to use as an antibiotic. Here you go, another vitamin chart. What the vitamins are used for, and what things you'll find that specific vitamin found in. These are all the things God made for us. They tell people hide from the sun, but it's full of vitamin D. Yeah, you see stuff in the sky all the time. What are they hiding? People are terrified of the sun. They're told, put something on your skin to protect you from it. They don't consider the chemicals in the thing they spread upon their skin. Be bad for business if they did. Common sense is thrown to the ground because people are molded in how to think, and they do not realize nor consider it. The importance of a colorful diet. The importance of your cruciferous vegetables. And all the things and nutrients in them. What people forget is that the mustard seed, the smallest of all seeds, becomes the greatest of herbs. That doesn't mean size and tallness, greatest of herbs. Now look at your cruciferous vegetables. And look at what they primarily fight against. You are what you eat. So build your diet around nutrients, around God's natural creation versus the processed, man-made creation that has more chemicals, E's and words you can't barely pronounce, let alone spell. So think about what you eat. Not many people like to. Know what you're eating and what you're drinking, and what nutrients you can find in them. Because if you're not considering it, and you're relying on the processed, and you're relying on the fast food and the takeaway, you're wearing yourself out ever so quickly. So, keep that body strong and healthy. Broccoli, asparagus, a couple of my favorites. Grapefruits, wonderful fruit. I hear people complain they're not sweet enough for them because people are so used to sweet things they can't handle a little bit of bitter. But I tell you, grapefruit build up your system in more ways than one. Understand your foods. Understand your detoxes. Seeds, different types of seeds, what they're rich with, and what they help with, what things they can be used to treat. And when you start to look into these things and study them for yourself, you'll start to mold your diet around God's creation and not man's. God made all these wonderful things to help with all these different ailments and conditions people suffer with. All these conditions are caused by unnatural means, a build-up of certain chemicals, so it's important to detox. Understand how to detox. Ginger is a good antioxidant, good for your stomach, good for cleaning out your system. Where that says on this screen, tomato is good for your heart, it's the lycopene specifically it's speaking of. So now you can look up lycopene and what fruits and vegetables have lycopene in them. Lycopene lowers heart attack by 1/3, so look it up. Understand everything has its place. Those that struggle and need sleep, there is a selection. Licorice is not one of my favorites, but it has more benefits. St. John's wort, a well-known one. Cinnamon, peppermint and lemon balm actually have quite a few good uses for your stomach as well. So for those struggling with sleep, and you say, oh, I'm insomniac or something like that, well, have a think about what you can do to switch off. Don't sleep with your devices, for a starter. And start adding good things to your body. A basic heavy metal detox to flush your blood of concentration of heavy metals. Look at the ingredients written. Cilantro is otherwise known as coriander. Coriander otherwise known as cilantro, depending on what nation you live in. Know these things. Add them to your diet. Oh, I don't like the taste of something. Well, maybe you prefer disease and illness and death. If so, then ignore things that have benefits just because they don't taste nice. I'm not a fan of garlic. But if I'm not well, then I tell you this. I'll be living on garlic. And I eat 4 or 5 roasted cloves a day just to make sure this body stays functioning. I'm really not a fan of spirulina, but I know its benefits, so I'm not afraid to use it, even if I don't appreciate its taste. I do appreciate its benefits and God's creation of it. Same goes for chlorella. Turmeric and ginger are my daily go-tos. I basically live on these two. Turmeric is for my liver. The ginger for inflammation and the stomach. And for the flushing. I work around a bunch of broken microwaves. I do not know how much I'm absorbing from them. But I know this body needs a regular detox. So look at these things on this screen and add them to your diet. And keep yourself strong and healthy in this time. Because with everything battering the body today, with the technology that's a letter and a number, people's bodies are going to get a lot weaker. Understand what to do to detox. The importance of your liver and kidneys. So learn how to take care of them and to detox them. For the kidneys, apple cider vinegar with the mother. For my liver, turmeric. And then all the others you add to those benefits. Take in the information that you see before you. Remember these. Right now you can still get these things. There'll be a time where you won't. Chelation therapy is an emergency therapy for removing heavy metals and poisonings. In regards to such things, know the ones you can use for it. So start learning all the things that will remove heavy metals quickly. And as you see here on this screen, a list of things you can add to help remove heavy metals. Remember, a lot of people have taken a certain something they would prefer not to have taken. If you want to bind to the heavy metals and the receptors and to remove and flush as much as possible, learn what to have and what not to have. Foods to avoid. Things that are not good for you. So have a think on it. And what foods to add to your diet to help with detoxing your body from this world. Because the Prince of the Air is sending a lot of signals out. You understand? And you want to keep your body as detoxed as possible now. Because those frequencies can only increase. Go for the natural, not the unnatural. Know the benefits of all the different things. This is just a short list of information to keep you studying, to keep you growing, so that you can fight whatever conditions you suffer with. It's up to you if you use them or not. I can only share the information. The rest is up to you, what you do with it. As you see here, all the different benefits of pumpkin and pumpkin seeds. And if you haven't tried them, well, there's something new for you to try. Different ways of fighting the most worst of conditions. If we find an issue in ourselves, do we not do all we can to cure ourselves of it? Or are we but too tired and bored and put our feet up in front of the big screen? You can only get out of something what you put into it. Same as our walk with God. As we give our lives for Him. Surrendering ourselves in willful submission for His will be done in our lives. That we learn from Christ to walk as Him. For Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No one come to the Father but by the Son. And as it says in the book of John, all things that are made by Him and through Him. For without Him no thing would exist. He is the light and there is no darkness there. And that light shine upon all these things that doth grow. For they are God's creation. So give thanks, and be joyous in the Lord for them. He's given us all we need. It's up to us to use it. I won't be going to the serpent on the pole for any kind of help. Because when you know better, you do better. Would you honestly trust Satan to save you? Or would you come to God? As this screen shows you how to make your own antibiotics, how to deal with pain, and how to deal with the hyperthyroid-based issues. A list upon here of different natural things. And I do say natural, not the extracted. I do not consider CBD. As I said, not extracted, just the natural in its purified, strongest of forms. The same as when you add black pepper to increase absorption rate of whatever you have. Ways to look after your lymph glands, your lymph nodes, detoxifying and flushing them, because when those get detoxified, so that the body can run better, because when they're full of toxins and they start to get blocked and clogged, you need to unblock and unclog, just like you would a sink. Otherwise it overflows and conditions start to mount. So look at the lists and add them to your diet. Start cutting things out that aren't good for you. Yes, everyone may have the odd thing that they have a craving for and a weakness towards, or a particular favourite, but start lowering the amount of junk that goes into your system and start adding a bunch of things to help your system and to wash it so that it's not constantly building up with toxins. So as we are continuing looking at these lists for different benefits, garlic, one of the strongest things you can get hold of. You can't get enough garlic. I have about 4 or 5 cloves. I could quite easily use half a garlic to make sure I stay healthy. I'm not a big fan of garlic, I won't lie. But I'm happy to have it every day. There are a few things I won't eat. I say few. By that I mean natural things. So look upon all the things this one ingredient can work upon, because there's a lot this works against. It's one of the most powerful things you can use for your body when you're not well. And I hear so many complaining of being poorly all the time. Well, if you don't want to be poorly, then fix your diet and strengthen your body. Ginger and garlic, you can't go wrong. Things you can fight off by just using these. It's a wonderful thing. So start adding them. And here you have the cruciferous vegetables. Understanding what items are in that list and their importance. Remember, all things grow according to their kind. The mustard seed is a part of this list. Green, leafy things should be a standard in your diet. This should not be a confusing thing to you. These are there for your benefit. These are not a hindrance to your diet, but a joy to add to it. The health benefits. I mean, broccoli is a standard part of the bodybuilder's diet. Broccoli, chicken and brown rice. Oh, that brings back memories. But the health benefits for your body, the cleansing, the strengthening of your system. So add these to it. Look at the list of vitamins found within them. All the things they can protect against and fight against. Remember, pause and take information of all these pictures I'm showing you as we speak, so that you can learn and use it. This is God's creation. It is not mine. I can only share with you what information is found on them and why they're good for your health. The devil would prefer you go to the fast food, junk food stores and chains and restaurants and eat refined and defiled foods of all sorts and kinds. But instead, no, eat the good stuff. Focus on the good things, the lovely things, the pure things. Think on those. I, for myself, know that I do drink coffee with bubblegum syrup. That's my junk. That's my bad thing. And then, whatever I have to have for my work to keep my heart pumping, because coffee's too strong for work. So I have some sort of energy-based drink that I use for that. So I can keep the heart and the blood pumping as it needs to, and it slows down too much. Knowing that I have those things, then I have to detox because of those things. So don't be afraid to regularly detox and flush your system out. Remember, you can never detox too much. You can never have too much of a good thing in this body to cleanse it. The same as us. When we've spent too much time in the world, not enough time with God, we need to stop every day and just come to God for Him to renew us in mind and in spirit. To come to Him when we're weary, because when we're in the world too long, we get weary because of it. But it's Christ that gives us that peace. When we're away from Him too long, we forget that peace that He gives. Because we've suffered too much in the world, and the world has tempted us too much. And it's worn us out and exhausted us too much. Because we've started to stay in the flesh too long, we need to live in the Spirit. The Spirit is strong, but the flesh is weak. And because the flesh is so weak, we need to detox it. Know your vegetables and your fruits and all their benefits. And all the different things you can use them for. Know your fruits and your vegetables. And don't be afraid to add them to your diet. Raise them from young in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. So don't let their diet be chicken nugget and chips, which I find absolutely horrifying. That every person I have known throughout these years in my old godless life, the standard diet was chicken nuggets and chips, because it was all their kids would eat, and it was all they would give them, because their kids knew they would get it. You are what you eat. Take a chicken nugget and stick it under a microscope and tell me how much you still want to eat it. And if you haven't got a microscope, there are videos that will show you. But once you see, you can't unsee. Do you still really want that in your system? Learn how to detox your own body. And eat clean, and raise them in clean eating, so they're used to every fruit and vegetable that exists. Remember when you get into baby-led weaning. I remember with mine, for I was a full-time dad. I'd be blending potato, blending peas, blending broccoli, blending carrot. Don't be trusting in them baby food jars. One thing I noticed when I tried giving a jar to my children, those they would vomit. And that would be a standard occurrence. If you gave them a jar, they would vomit. But if I boiled up random vegetables, cooked up different natural fruits and veg, and put them in the blender so that they could mulch them and try them, they would have something they could eat and keep down, because it was natural. Unlike all the gunge they put in the other stuff that is not natural. Same as when a baby is a baby. In the old days, what they used to do is they used to put little socks on the feet, and then they would take a piece of garlic, peel it, squeeze it to break it a little bit, stick it in the sock, and let it absorb into their immune system via their feet. Because it's a powerful antibiotic. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory. It's a powerful antioxidant. And it would cleanse their little bodies of any toxins or parasites, so that they could grow healthy and strong. In today's day and age, they give a poison. This is the world we live in. And now, most come out with a brain that does not work correctly. Words must be used carefully on this particular subject, you understand. So understand the importance of what each thing can be used for and what it can strengthen. Echinacea, or echinacea, depending on where you are to speak it. This is a standard herb. It's one of those go-tos that you want in your herb cabinet. You never have too much of it, it's good for you. It'll fight off a whole host of problems and health issues. Ginger, great for your tummy. Great for issues with pains and all sorts. Anyone that knows anything about bees and how good natural honey is, which is getting harder and harder to get in today's day and age, and all the benefits for the body it has. Cayenne, considered the one-stop shop for health. And I do love spice. I can't eat chilies like I used to, but I grew up on it. Mexican, Caribbean, Jamaican, Thai. Yeah. Can't go wrong with spicy food. Not only is there many benefits, it also increases your metabolism so you digest quicker. Makes your stomach more efficient. For those with skin issues, the different benefits of different items you can use for them. I would ignore the one in the middle that says yoga. We are looking at the natural, not the spiritual. I'm no spiritualist. Prayer and seeking God for wisdom is all you need. Not all that new age stuff they come out with today. Rosemary, bitter herb, goes with lamb. Good antioxidant. I do like cinnamon. You can add it to many things. Black pepper, to help you absorb more quickly the other nutrients you want to add to your system. Mint is good for excess wind. Turmeric, as it says there, is also good though for your liver. And garlic, one of the strongest you can get a hold of. And here is a list of different things you can use for different problems and issues on the body. Witch hazel is also good for bruising. Draws bruising from the bone. You have all these different benefits. Castor oil can be used for many things. You can look into castor oil. And these are all the different things that grow together. And all the things that are known as companions. That means that they won't hinder the growth of the other. On the other side, you'll see the ones that should not be grown together because they will cause issues. Now, God made all these things. Now, I hope you've made it to the end, and even if you haven't listened to me, that's fine. But learn what the benefits are of all these things I have shown you. Seek and you will find, knock, door be answered, ask and you receive. Study, diligently. Learn how to live off the land, so that you're not trusting the serpent on the pole when you need relief from something. The serpent on the pole is of his father, and he comes to kill, deceive, and destroy. And he's abundant in it, and has been doing it a long time. Don't put your trust in serpents. Trust in God, because Jesus is the way, the life, and the truth. Seek him for all truth in this world. Seek him for all guidance and wisdom. Seek him to get you through. Don't give up in this world. Don't conform to it, but be set apart from it. Stand for the Lord. Praise Jesus every day. Give thanks to God, because his Son came and gave his life, shedding his blood, rising again the third day from the grave. We could be saved, that we could be reconciled to our Father in heaven, and no longer be children of wrath. Praise be the Lord. Thank him for his abundance and all he gives us, all the knowledge and wisdom he imparts upon us, that we may learn and grow in his ways and do them. Praise be God Most High forever. God bless and encourage you all.